So where are we in markets right now? We're just in the boring zone. I posted this on Twitter. The boring zone is that post-halving transition from crypto spring to crypto summer where everything just chops around for a bit. Those of you who are over trading, which is most of you fuckers, get chopped around. You're like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. The market's gone down and then it's gone back up. I don't want to chase this. I don't want to chase that. And oh my God, just stop doing that. I keep trying to explain. Just the don't fuck this up thesis is to not do that. It's just to own your major tokens. You've got some stuff in speculative stuff. Stop trading. Just stop trading. And you can then sit there and go to Spain for 3 weeks and not care what the market does, because over time, because of the adoption effects of the technology, you'll do well.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In today's video, Raoul Pal is on his show in macro and crypto, the banana zone, the everything code, lifestyle chips, and where we are today in the big picture outlook.
So the boring zone finishes at some point, and then we transition to the banana zone, which is the full crypto summer and crypto fall. Now, those of you who get confused because you don't follow along properly and don't listen, these are not the actual seasons. These are the crypto seasons. So each year is a different season. It's not, oh, it's transitioning to fall because it's September or October. No, you're not listening. Fall is 2025 at some point. And I'll come in to show you how we actually calculate this stuff in a bit, because I think that's an important thing for you. ETF. So ETH comes out, gets fucking slotted immediately. It was so obvious this was going to happen. And that's the grayscale selling. So there's all of these people have been locked into this damn thing forever. Now have to sell. They want to get out of the trade. They've closed the gap. There's a bunch of arbitrageurs. So this whole thing needs to mess around for a week or two as we puke out a lot of the people from this, people reposition into the other ETFs, and the sales machines of BlackRock and Fidelity and all of these guys go out and start getting the ETH narrative out there. Now, don't forget, it's summer. So they're kind of knocking on the door of their favorite RIA, and they're all in the Hamptons or wherever they go. So it's a slower time. But it will get traction. We will see a lot of volumes. Now, the other thing is a lot of you see volumes in the ETFs. Like, oh my God, they've done $18 gazillion of volume. This is the biggest thing ever. It's because they're being arbitraged. Well, that being used as the anchor for the arbitrage. So people are arbitraging the futures contract, which is why when you look at the holders of these ETFs, the biggest ones are like Millennium and all the hedge funds. It was like, look, it's amazing. They're speculating in crypto. No, they're not. What they're actually doing is arbitraging the futures contract with the ETF, which acts like spot, because they can't hold spot. There's other people, and these guys don't trade the perps markets. There's other guys arbitraging the perps against the futures, perps against the spot. So there's a lot of these players who are keeping prices together. Arbitrage play a really important role. That is most of the volume. That was most of the volume in all the grayscale trusts as well. They were arbitragers. So a lot of stuff has to get unwind. So it gets messy and noisy.
A Bitcoin analyst thinks spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds, ETF, may have launched too early and could pose a risk to Bitcoin's price if no new capital comes into the market. It would have been better to only have the BTC ETF in 2024, Capriol Investments founder Charles Edwards. He argues that the new Ethereum ETF will only distract investors who have been invested in Bitcoin. Current BTC ETF holders at the institutional level likely think they should diversify a little and buy the ETF. Without new flows into the whole market, this creates sell pressure on Bitcoin, Edwards argued. Since spot Bitcoin ETF launched on January 11, approximately $17.53 billion has flowed into the 11 products, according to Farside data. Since Ethereum ETF launched on July 23, Bitcoin's dominance has remained fairly stable, up 0.07% over the past 24 hours, according to TradingView data. While spot Bitcoin ETF recorded net outflows of $78 million on July 23, the debut trading day of spot Ethereum ETF, the following 2 days have seen inflows of $44.5 million and $31.1 million respectively.
So I do think there's good opportunities there. I'm still probably, if I held one stock for the next 18 months, it's probably Tesla. And I've talked about this in the past. Tesla's driven by two dynamics. One is car sales. Car sales are driven by the economy, and I'll come on and show you some of this stuff in a sec. But they're also driven by technology, the Optimus robots, the robo-taxis, self-driving, all of this. But this acts as the weighted anchor. And when the business cycle picks up, it pushes this one higher. And before you know, this is why Tesla has these consolidation, sideways, messy down markets, and then hyper accelerates for the upside. It's based on the phasing of the two narratives. And when they come into phase, then everything comes. And I'll show you about that phasing in a sec. I just put a log regression and you can see how this works. It's a beautiful channel, and it gets to the top, it gets overbought, then sells off. But basically, it's a technological adoption trend. Bitcoin, exactly the same, world of swings, actually a steeper gradient. So again, secular trend. The other key secular trend that I follow is India. India is a very great log trend. Doesn't get as overbought. We haven't had kind of the bubble cycle. So we haven't had the two standard deviations, which would be the green line. But my God, it's a beautiful market. So those are the identifiable secular trending markets. Then let's see where we are in the macro season. So the seasons I talked about, same as the crypto seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall. So it's kind of spring is disinflationary boom, rising growth, falling inflation. That's kind of, it's going to get a bit confusing. When we talk about inflation here, we're talking about the rate of change of inflation. This is where we were up until about March, and you'll see it in a sec. And then the rate of change of inflation is slowing down, and so that's or going up. So that gives you the inflationary boom, which is summer. Now it's not inflationary. There's no inflation coming back. It's not the 1970s again. All that fucking nonsense. It is just Goldilocks.
Donald Trump has seen the light when it comes to cryptocurrency. Love him or hate him, that's a good thing for the industry. Look, I'm far from being political. I do not fully support former President Donald Trump's policies or his entire vision for the United States. However, as a strong advocate for crypto, I must acknowledge the upside to Trump potentially winning the election in November. For now, there is a solid chance that will happen, which is hardly surprising, considering he almost became a martyr in Pennsylvania. At the risk of belaboring this point, the Biden administration hasn't exactly been crypto's greatest ally. It's quite rare to see a piece of tech demonized as much as it has been under the Democratic Party's tenure. Banks are scared, regulators are on the warpath, and adoption has stalled. But here's the thing. Trump's election could change all of that relatively quickly. I'm not going to argue that Trump has always been pro-crypto. A quick Google search will display from January 2019 when, during his first term in the Oval Office, he was quite explicit in not being a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Ouch. Fast forward to July 2024, and he's scheduled to speak at Bitcoin Nashville. In June, he had a meeting with Bitcoin miners behind closed doors, with the intention of creating a U.S. monopoly over the industry. The winds are shifting, and crypto needs to piggyback on the political cloud that is now unexpectedly sitting at the table. Even if Trump doesn't change a single crypto policy, just putting the handbrake on the prosecution would be huge for our industry. It would end the crusade, give banks some slack in deciding who they want to work with, and open the floodgates for mainstream adoption. America has generally been antagonistic toward crypto. Now, however, the last point of feudal resistance might fall. With this potential shift in the political landscape, crypto providers should be prepared. Sure, this is undoubtedly an integral part of his campaign to win over voters, but the timing could not be better. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, is holding more than $20 billion of Bitcoin in assets under management thanks to the approval of Bitcoin ETF in January. BlackRock will also be participating in the Nashville conference. Momentum is on the up, and all of the big players, from corporations to politicians, are pushing in the right direction. Trump being pro-crypto is good for crypto. We can hold his policies in contempt all we want, but everyone in this industry should pay attention. Crypto needs to be open to riding the political tides when onboarding the first billion users. Hopefully, we've also learned we do need TradFi for the foreseeable future, and we need more mainstream adopters. We can't afford to commit our resources to fight against an anti-crypto crusade anymore. We should focus those resources on growing the industry. So get ready. Make sure your compliance is top-notch. Work with highly compliant banking partners. Be prepared for a potential bull run like you've never seen before. Politics and crypto sentiments are intertwining, whether we like it or not, and could be what unlocks the next level of crypto adoption and growth. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.